All right, everybody, welcome to our weekly team call. I am on day 2 of the Ultimate Reset, so I am a little spacey and a little bit tired. To be honest, I'm just a little tired today. I do drink a lot of coffee, and I felt fine yesterday, but today I am definitely dragging a little bit, and it's kind of been a long day anyway. So I'm probably going to keep it pretty brief and really kind of just give you a little bit of a little bit of thoughts about kind of what's going on right now, and help you to maybe put things in perspective, which I think is always good this time of year, because I think it's really easy to doubt whether our business works or not right now. It's a time of year that can be very tough, and it's sort of often, and unfortunately because of that, it comes at a time where a lot of people are pushing for year-end goals, and they're trying to get somewhere that's really hard to get to right now. So I just want to talk about that a little bit and give you some of my perspective on that based on my experience. It's kind of similar to what I did in the video that I posted and pinned earlier in the week, or I guess that was probably late last week that I posted that video, where I talked about some of these issues, and I was really kind of talking to a group of people that I'm working closely with, and so I want to talk a little more generally about it tonight. The time period between Halloween and Thanksgiving is by far the most difficult in our business. As far as the challenges that are in front of you right now, there are many. And I think it's very easy to view things in a vacuum and to, sort of sit back and think, well, yeah, gee, this business just doesn't work. Nobody wants what I have. And if you're a new coach, this message is particularly important, that you understand this and that you understand the cyclical nature of our business. Because, I sponsored coaches last month. Many of you guys have, and this is a tough time to start a coach, because you want to tell them, hey, go get them, go get out there and go do it. And at the same time, they're kind of bumping their head up against the wall. You have to just sort of understand, again, the cyclical nature of businesses in general, and our business. Every business has some sort of a cycle where they're very successful and times when they aren't. Think about a guy who runs a pool maintenance business. When is he busy? In the summer. When is he not very busy? In the winter. Every business has times like that. And our business is no exception. Right now is by far the slowest time that you can expect to see all year long. And just to run that cycle through for you, let's start from now and then work our way back to here as if this was our calendar year. So again, until Thanksgiving, it's going to be slow. You may struggle to make Success Club this month. I still maintain that you can make Success Club. I managed to get 2 people to do the Ultimate Reset with me. I thought I had 4. I ended up with 2. That's still 2. People are still out there that want to do it. There's still, this is a tough time to get people to do something like that, and yet I got 2 people to do it. So, it can be done, and I'm by no means in telling you this am I giving you some sort of a license to take the month off. In fact, that's not what I'm telling you at all. What I'm really telling you is that if you want your business to be strong and build for the future, now is the time when you've got to get really busy. And we'll talk about what you need to be doing later. So it's tough in between Halloween and Thanksgiving. It's just the nature of people in our society. I mean, if you think about it right now, people are still munching on leftover Halloween candy, and they will be for probably the next week. Okay, they'll be munching on leftover Halloween candy that's just laying around their house. Candy they do not normally eat, crap they do not normally have in their house. They just have it in their house because it's leftover from Thanksgiving. I did it for years. Until finally we let the kids keep their little batch of candy, and we send the rest off to Navy Relief Society, and they give it to sailors or other families or whoever. But it's not here, and I'm not eating it. Okay, that's the important thing for me. somebody who's, running a couple of, miles a day with a big backpack on their back, or, busting their ass in the sand or something, they should be eating candy, not me. Anyway, so people will be eating candy for the next couple of weeks. And then of course we'll hit Thanksgiving, and, Thanksgiving is Thanksgiving. I'm a big fan. It's one of my favorite holidays. I love to go and have a huge pig out meal at Thanksgiving. It's one of my favorite things to do. I love to eat my family. I love to cook. That's my favorite thing to do, is actually cook Thanksgiving. When Monica and I host, and we may end up doing that this year, I don't know, but that's one of my favorite things to do, and it's one of my favorite holidays. And there are a lot of people who feel that way, and there are a lot of people who are going to do what? They're going to go out and they're going to chow down on Thanksgiving. Now, what happens after that is what really matters for purposes of understanding our business, because that is now, about 4 weeks, some cases more, of people really pushing their bodies into a place where they don't want to be, gaining weight. Most of it's just raw weight gain. It's not even, an unhealthy behavior like smoking. Sometimes there's alcohol involved with all this too, but it's mostly just people gaining weight. Some small portion of people, no, not some small portion, not an insignificant portion of people, will make the decision that enough is enough after Thanksgiving is over, and they will decide right after Thanksgiving that they need to get going. They need to change, that this isn't working, and that they need to really clean up their act. And there are a lot of people who will do that. And a lot of them are going to buy Insanity Max 30, which I believe is scheduled to be released the first week in December. I'm not concrete on that, but that's my understanding. And so if all that is true, right, when are we going to start seeing business again? Well, in the first week in December. I mean, this business starts to get really easy the first week in December when that new product releases come out. I've seen them do this now every year since 2011, I believe, if I'm right. Let me just think. So 2011 was P90X2. Then we had Les Mills Combat. And 13 was P90X3. And now we're going to have Insanity Max 30. Every year, that has caused sales to go through the roof at what appears to be a dead time, right after the deadest time of the year. For us, maybe not for some other businesses. Other businesses, you may have friends or acquaintances who are in a business selling wrinkle cream or candles or travel or whatever. This may not be their slow season. This is our slow season. This is our slow season because this is when people are focused on stuff in their face, not getting in shape and not building a business, which is where your focus needs to be, which I'll come back to in a moment. So after the Insanity Max 30 release, we should be strong through most of December, just based on that one product alone. Then people are starting to get the idea that we make great Christmas presents, and they're giving our stuff as Christmas presents. So we'll have a Christmas rush, and that'll be nice. New Year's will be crazy busy. It always is, and New Year's is when this business is very, very easy. Right now it's very, very hard, but it will be very, very easy in New Year's if you do some of the things that I'm going to tell you to do later on this call. Then after the Super Bowl, all the people who said they wanted to start on New Year's and didn't will start after the Super Bowl. And that's actually, there's some data that shows that actually after the Super Bowl is a bigger rush, maybe is the right word to use, but there's more business after the Super Bowl than there is after New Year's. That's just the deal. And I've suspected that for a really long time, and there's some data that backs that up. But either way, it's another rush. Then February will be strong. March is pretty strong. It slows down a little bit when we get into spring break time. It slows down a little bit during the basketball tournament, the March Madness basketball tournament. As soon as that tournament is over, it picks up again. It's just like the Super Bowl. It picks right up again. And we have all the people who want to get ready for summer. Those people all get ready for summer. That keeps us busy until Summit. Summit, we have new product release, and the whole cycle begins again. We start to have more volume, and everybody's doing business. Everybody's talking about it. It's not a super easy time to find new customers. It is a very easy time to get your existing customers to purchase whatever the new stuff is. So that's kind of the distinction there. Sometimes I think summer can be a difficult time to find new people, but a great time to re-engage old people. if you have old people to engage. Now, if you haven't built a customer base, you're not taking advantage of these product releases. So that's the first thing. Is what this is about is building a base of customers. That's always should be a huge focus of yours. You build a huge database of customers. Beachbody releases new stuff. Some of them buy, and that's just easy. You don't have to do anything. It's like being an insurance salesman. You know, it's just every month you pay your insurance premium. The guy sold you one policy, but every month you pay. It's a great business model. Ours is very similar. Okay, so that happens around Summit. Then things usually slow down a little bit in August as everybody is sort of not wanting summer to end and winding up and, you know, finishing that last vacation or whatever. Once school gets back, we have another big boom because people get back into their routine and they figure it out. That usually lasts until about Halloween. That lasts until Halloween. And here we are. Here we are, Halloween. You know, we had a little product release with P90. It wasn't a huge splash. I think that's unfortunate, but I think people are still trying to do harder workouts than they really have business or are really beneficial to them. You know, people still want to buy, you know, the hardest thing possible and not succeed at it rather than starting down here and working their way up to it. That's fine. I get it. I did the same thing. I understand, but that's what people do. And I think P90 is an opportunity to help people break out of that cycle. And I've had a bunch of people get it, and I think it's awesome. I'm a huge fan. But so that lands us back here at our Halloween to Thanksgiving time period. And that's the cycle of our business. And that cycle is really well established. It's really, really well established. And I need you to understand that. I need you to understand that right now, if you're struggling, that's part of the deal. It's part of it. Every business says it. Every business has difficult times a year, and we are no exception. You found it. Now, the good news is it's a very short period of time, and there are a lot of things you can be doing right now in order to position yourself to be really successful once it's over. Right? So that's what I want to talk about now, because I think that what happens now is people go dormant instead of building. And building means a lot of different things. Building doesn't always mean getting new customers and recruiting new coaches. A lot of times building really means putting things in place that allow you to capitalize later. You know, if you watch that video, the analogy that I used in that video was a farmer. And, you know, farmers don't have crops in their field all the time. I used to spend a lot of time in Idaho. And there's a lot of grain farming that goes on up there. And you know, most of the time when we go up there to fly fish, you know, there'd be just, you know, the amber waves of grain just, you know, flapping in the wind. And I remember going up there as a little kid, and we went up there to go visit some relatives, and it was like, you know, wintertime or you know, really, really early spring. And all the fields were just dirt, and I'd never seen it like that. And I remember asking my grandfather, what's the deal? What happened to all the crops? You know, I don't know, I was 13 or something. And he explained to me that the crops aren't there all the time, that they plant them in the spring and they harvest them in the fall. And after they harvest them, they leave the fields to just kind of, you know, regenerate. And then they do things, they fertilize their fields, they turn the dirt over, they rotate crops. He told me all about farming. He's kind of you know, grew up on a ranch, so he knew all about it. And I was like, oh, okay. So right now is the time when your field is empty, okay? That doesn't mean you just let it sit there and be dirt. There are lots of things you can be doing right now that will benefit you when Insanity Max 30 comes out. Most people will do nothing. Most people will do nothing. Understand what that means for you, okay? Because here's the truth of how, not just this business, but this is how life works. The harder things are, the more opportunity exists, okay? I want you to just think about that for a second. If it's hard, there's a bigger opportunity to get paid. Why? Because if it's hard, not very many people will do it, which means there's bigger slices of pie for the people that do. So every year during this time period, I have done something to move my business forward, okay? Sometimes that's been personal development. I recognize that this right here is my field. Okay. In order for me to run this thing and have this business and help you guys every week and do all the other stuff that I need to do and still be, a great husband and a great dad and participate in my kids' sports and my daughter's theater activities and all this stuff. In order to do all that stuff, I have to be the best I can be. So in years past, I've gone to seminars during this time period. I just went to the Bo Eason seminar about a month ago with Jimmy, a week before our Diamond Retreat. Not a convenient time to go, but I needed to go see that guy. And it's changed me. And we had a conversation, a little phone call with his wife, with Bo Eason's wife today to talk to about having him come and speak at some events that Jimmy and I are going to do. Pretty exciting. Good time to work on that. Real good time to work on something like that for me. Okay, so personal development is a big one right now. If you have issues, whatever they are, you need to figure out how to address them. If you have issues with money and you have problems because you think Shakeology is too expensive, or because you think any of the things that you think you might need to do in order to build your business are expensive, like getting a website or something like that, you need to unscrew that and screw some new thoughts in there and figure that out. Okay? If you have hangups with trusting people, if you don't have great communication skills, you don't understand the 4 major personality types that govern people's behavior, absolutely govern people's behavior. You need to go get Personality Plus by Florence Littauer and go read that book. Now's a good time to do that. That's taking care of your field when there's no crops in it, because you're taking care of yourself. You're taking care of your mind. Okay, you're taking care of your attitude. You're making sure that you don't fall victim to this really, really mistaken philosophy that our business doesn't work simply because there's 4 or 5 weeks out of the year where the entire nation is thinking about stuffing their face with candy rather than doing burpees. The only way to do that is to insulate your mind against that stuff. And that's where personal development comes in. I was not successful in my life or in this business until I got that screwed in to my head. I operated for a vast majority of my life from a win-lose perspective. In other words, I win, you lose, or you win, I lose. There is no play, or we both lose. We both lose, and that was a big favorite of mine. Was we'll just both lose then. Fine, screw you. I'll make sure we both lose here. And I operated that way for a really long time. I had to figure out that that's not what it's about. That it's about we both win. And if we can't both win, then we shouldn't be working together. We shouldn't be doing this deal. I shouldn't be involved in whatever it is that's going on that could set up a situation where one of us loses. There's a way we can both win. I had to screw that into my head. I had to screw it into my head that givers gain, meaning that people who do things for other people and who add value to other people's lives win. Period. I needed to screw that into my brain, and once I did, everything we did was governed by those 2 principles. And there are some other ones, but those are the 2 major ones. Everything's a win-win, or we don't do it. Givers gain. My time tonight on this call, even though I don't really want to be here, it's day 2 of the reset for me. I'm really tired. I don't even know that I'm going to have the energy to go eat dinner. I may just go to bed because I am beat. But I know that by doing this call, it'll come back to me somehow. There is no line item on my weekly paycheck for, you got paid this much money to do the team call. Or you got paid this much money to talk to this coach for an hour. Or you got paid this much money to talk to this customer for 45 minutes and help them with their problem. Or you got paid this much money to film those videos or create that blog post or whatever it is that I do that adds value to people's lives. They just don't exist. And yet that's exactly what I get paid to do. I get paid to do this call. I get paid to put together training systems. That's what I get paid for. Okay, so it's important that you understand that and that you adopt it as your philosophy. And if you're struggling with these things, the 2 things I really recommend that people start with, The first one is Personality Plus by Florence Littauer. That book will explain to you the 4 major personality types and how they govern people's behaviors, why people behave the way they do. You will learn to understand your spouse better if you have one. You'll understand your kids better. Okay, this is not limited to office work. Okay, but you'll also be a way better coach because you'll understand how to communicate with people. The second one is Jim Rohn's Art of Exceptional Living. Get the 6-disc unabridged version. It's very tempting to just go into there's a lot of it is in the back office. I think it's about $25 on Amazon. There's CDs, they're old school CDs. There's 6 of them. It's much more detailed than the abridged version which is what is in the Coach Online office. If you can't get that, at least go listen to the abridged version, which is pretty good, but doesn't cover as much as the unabridged version where he talks about how to live your life top to bottom. And the philosophies you need to be successful. I'm listening to it right now. I've listened to it. I don't even know how many times. I've lost track. I mean, I literally know what he's going to say before he says it. I've heard it so many times. But right now, I got to take care of my mind and I've got to take care of my body. That's why I'm doing the reset right now. So that in December, when we start this Insanity Max 30 and we start the big cycle that I talked about during the new year, I'm ready to go. I'm fresh. I have energy. I feel great. I'm in great shape. I'm walking the talk. That's why I'm doing it now. Okay? Because I got to take care of my field. Right? So those are kind of some personal development things. Sorry, my office is finally warming up, so I'm going to ditch this climbing jacket thing. But the other thing about the reset, I'll tell you, if you've never done the reset, one of the things about it is you experience temperature fluctuations really fast. It's crazy. It's been colder here, but I swear all of a sudden I'm just freezing all the time, and then I get hot, and then I'm freezing and I'm hot, and so it's a couple days of that, and then that'll go away. But anyway, so that's personal development, super important. Okay, being proof the product works. Let's go through our 3 vital behaviors, so to speak. Being proof the product works, absolutely essential. Again, that's why I'm doing the reset right now. If you're lagging on your fitness right now and you're munching on Halloween candy, you can guess this where you're going to be in December. You're going to be with a group of people who says, I better start now. Okay, that's what those people are saying. I need to start now, except they're saying it in December. I'm saying I need to start now. Okay, because the truth is that that's leadership. That leads people. People watch me. People watch you more than you think. And they're watching you to see what you're doing. And if they think that you're not working out, and they think you're not drinking your Shakeology, and they think that you're not being proof the product works, they won't follow you in December when they say, I'm going to start now. They want somebody who's already started. They want someone ahead of them. The leaders, followers. Okay, we need a couple of leaders and a bunch of followers. The way to get followers is to be a leader, and the way to be a leader is to be proof the product works now. Right now. Okay, go get rid of the Halloween candy. Go pick up your favorite fitness program. Start, take your Shakeology, live out loud. Live out loud right now and watch what happens. You won't get a lot of traction on it. I guarantee you, you will not get a lot of traction right now. I'm not getting a whole lot of, I've been really surprised by the amount of likes I've gotten on the photos that I've been posting of my reset food. Really surprised. Because I didn't expect to get anything on it. Not now. I expected people to see it and go, oh, wow, that guy's doing the reset right now. What a psycho. But wow, good for him. He's taking control of his health and fitness. That's all I need is that seed in their mind. Is that right now, Dave Ward is taking control of his health and fitness. While they're munching on Kit Kats. That's enough. That's enough for them to say, I'm going to start in December. So, personal development, being proof the product works. Now is the time to be a leader in that department. Third one of our thing is invite. I am going to tell you that if you try to form a challenge group right now, it's going to be really hard. Accept low numbers. Just be okay with it. Again, I have 2 people doing the reset with me. That's not 4, that's 2. I had 4. Now there's only 2 left that I know of, at least that are, I put a thing in my group like, okay, who's left here? Is it just the 2? Is it just you 2 guys? It's actually two ladies who I'm going to send a little gift to, I think. But for sticking it out and doing it with me, because I need some support system too, right? I'm not immune from wanting to cheat or whatever. It's part of life. Anyway, so inviting is going to be tough. Accept lower numbers. Be okay with it. It's a tough month to really try to crank out 20 Success Club points or something like that. You should be making Success Club point. You should be making Success Club every month. This is no exception. You should be making Success Club every month, period. This is not a license for you to not work or not focus on it. I'm simply telling you the realities of it. Corporate wants to push, whatever on us that, is this big incentive thing or whatever, shiny little object they've got going on right now. It's not realistic. It's just not. And I'd much rather that you guys take the time to focus on those two other things, and get your brain screwed on right, get your physical fitness in check, and and let people know about that stuff. Those two things in and of itself attract people to you. Okay, when people come to me, they tell me that this thing attracted me to you. I liked this about you. What led me to you was this. It's usually one of those two things, guys. It's usually one of those two things. It's that they know that I'm really dedicated to improving myself mentally and physically. Mentally and physically. That attracts people to you because you need a couple of leaders and a bunch of followers. The leaders are the ones who get the followers. If you're a follower, the leaders are sure not going to follow you. And you might get some other followers to follow you, but ultimately they're looking for a leader. And the way you demonstrate leadership right now is by getting your brain screwed on right and getting your physical fitness in check. That's how you do it right now. And that's how you demonstrate leadership, and people will follow you. Now, on the business side of things, and I've got just a couple of minutes left, and I'll talk about this. I also think this is a great time of year to get business structures in place. What do I mean by business structures? I don't know. That depends on you and your business. But maybe there's a new social network that you'd like to get on. Maybe you're not on Instagram and you've heard how great Instagram is. This is a great time to figure it out. Okay, there's a really good saying that actually I just totally had forgotten to say because I'm spacey and resetty, but the saying is that when opportunity knocks, it's too late to prepare. Okay, when opportunity knocks, it's too late to prepare. You have time to prepare right now. And opportunity is going to start knocking really hard soon. So are you ready? Are you ready? That's the simple question. Are you ready? If you're ready, great, great. If you've got a way to collect leads easily and quickly, whether it's via email address or getting them in your Facebook group or however that is, great, awesome, good for you. I do. I have that stuff in place, so I don't need to work on that right now. If you don't have that in place, this might be a really good time for you to get that in place before things go boom boom in the first week in December with Insanity Max 30, and don't stop going boom boom until probably March. Now's the time to prepare. So you need to figure out what you need to do. I started with personal development because I always believe this is your field right here. It's your body, it's you, it's your mind, it's the energy level you have, it's everything. Okay, but there are some structural things that you can do. Okay, if you need to learn more computer skills, great time to do it. If you need to learn more people skills, great time to do it. If you need to learn, I don't know, how to film a video. Maybe you want to you're interested in doing some video marketing, but you don't know anything about how to use a camera or how to use something like iMovie, which is what I use to edit movies, or any of the other movie editors out there. And if you need a recommendation for Windows, just post it in the group and I'm sure somebody can get you one. You don't know how to use any of that stuff and you don't know how to upload a video to YouTube. Guess what? This is a great time to learn. This is a great time to learn. In years past, when I first started learning about online marketing, I recognized the fall was our slow time, and I hadn't quite pinned it down to this period of time yet, but I just knew that things were slower in the fall. And this is when I would, buy an online course in how to in blogging or something like that. You know, that's a lot of what I used to do was really involved with blogging. I guess still is, but maybe I just understand it now, and so it's not something I feel like I struggle with or whatever. You know, maybe this is the time to dig in with some of this stuff, because you have the time now, you have the ability, you have that resource. And if you just sit back and wait, I'm just telling you, you're going to be scrambling like crazy in December. Scrambling like crazy. Okay. For me, one of the things I love to do is ski. And so I have 2 ski trips in January planned. Most people look at that and they think that is career suicide. Why are you going on a trip during your absolute busiest time of year? It's easy. It's easy. I'll get it done in December. I'll have everything in place. Everything will be in place before I leave. I'll have all the sales pages I need. I'll have everything I need. I'll have posts scheduled on Facebook in advance. I'll have all the posts scheduled on Facebook. So I'll be on a helicopter. I'm going heli skiing. I'll be flying around in a helicopter, and the stuff will work for me. All automated, all set up. I don't know if that interests you or not. I like to work when I'm not working. That works for me. It's a good system for me. I had to put a lot of work into all of that stuff. I had to learn all of that stuff. Sometimes I think it's really easy to look at somebody like me and say, yeah, that's easy for you. You've got it all set up. Guess what? I didn't even have a Facebook account. And this time of year in 2008, I had no Facebook account. I got a Facebook account and I became a coach. Well, I started as a coach in August of 2008. I became a coach before that because Monica signed me up, but I wasn't into it until August of 2008 was when I started working the business. I didn't have a Facebook account until Thanksgiving. Why? I wasn't generating any business and I couldn't figure out why. And Monica said, you really should be on Facebook. And I said, no, Facebook is lame. I'm not going to do that. And my sister-in-law said, you need a Facebook account and I'm going to show you how to get one. And I instantly started connecting with people I went to high school with and people who were my fraternity brothers and all kinds of people. And what do you know? Business went bonkers in December. And I was a diamond coach. I think by December. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look. I don't really remember. It happened pretty fast. After, we got through the dead zone, as I like to call it. So think about what you need to get into place right now. Again, I have 5 years, almost 6 years of experience ahead of you in doing all this stuff. So you shouldn't expect to get it to where I'm at right now in 4 weeks. I think that's pretty unreasonable. But what I do think you can do is I think you can take a critical look at, this is a good time, really good time to take a critical look at your business, see where it's at, see what's going on, see what structures you need to get into place. Maybe you're at a point where you've got a team that you're working on and building, and you're sort of looking around at some of the things that other people do for their teams, whether that's something as extreme as the diamond retreat that we just put on, or just sending out little thank you cards for people on your team who make Success Club or Advance in Rank, which is something that we do as well. I don't know. That's what you need to figure out right now. But right now is the time to really figure it out and then get it in place. I talked with one of our coaches who lives on the island here. I ran into her at the store the other day, and I was so stoked with what she said to me, because she came up to me and I was like, oh, she's going to tell me how hard this is right now. And instead she came up and said, I'm putting together a plan. And once I have it together, I'd like to sit down with you and we can talk about what my plan is. And I said, awesome. That's exactly what you should be doing right now. Figure out where you need help and get it. It might be here. It might be here. It might be on the computer in front of you. I don't know. There's too many people that I have to tell that to. You guys got to figure it out, and then you got to come up with a plan to move forward and really figure it out. Be really critical with yourself, and I don't mean that in a mean way. I mean that in a way of being honest with yourself about what's going on and where you're at, what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, And right now, you either need to be doing something that helps you capitalize on your strengths or helps you build on your weaknesses. And if you can do that right now, you'll be ready when opportunity knocks in early December. And if you don't, you'll be scrambling to figure it out. And I've seen a lot of people over the years who scramble and scramble and scramble and scramble. And every time something new comes out, they're behind and they can't figure out why. And it's because they don't prepare in advance. They wait until the thing is there instead of preparing in advance with, whatever it is that means for them. So that's it for me. I got to go get my son from water polo. So I am out of here. Thanks for your time tonight. Sorry if I was a little rambly. Next week should be better as I will have overcome my caffeine withdrawals by then. Have a great night, guys.